Happy Thanksgiving. What's up? Your boy's got his laptop recording. I've got it sideways in my little man cave setup here. So hopefully it comes out all right. You know, I wanted that long profile. Let you check out the fit. Let you appreciate the fit. I don't know if you might have some mixed feelings towards your boy Earl Thomas, the third, but it's all right. He was one of the best safeties, one of the funnest players to watch. Hustled his ass off, okay? And this is the color I think we're rocking today. So that's the color your boy's rocking, all right? All right, enough wankster stuff, right? Okay, first things first. Hold on to your kneecaps. Get ready for a recap. I wrote that down in my notebook. It was the first thing I wrote down. I was like, you gotta say that to start. They're gonna love that. All right, so first of all, Thanksgiving, set those lineups like I said yesterday, 9:30 a.m. starting in about 20 minutes. I see some people, Chris, Parker, some other people that have some people on their bench you might want to swap in there. I wasn't saying Chris and Parker. My cousin Chris, his last name is Parker. A little confusing. Yeah. So make sure to set those lineups. Same old with your flex stuff, you know, especially those Thursday games, Friday games, and Sunday. So you're going to want to throw, your Thursday night guys up in their normal spots, later guys in the flex. So if something weird goes on, you can change it between now and then. Same old. All right. So injuries. First off, last week we had a few big ones. We had Joe Burrow, which is Andy's. He's out for the year. Luckily he's got Dobbs, so I think he's going to be all right with that. Dobbs is a fun player, got the running upside, and narrative's there for him. I think it's going to be good. Mark Andrews is out, who Wayne had. That's a tougher one. He's got to roll with Gerald Everett this week, so I'm not sure if he's going to be healthy enough to get his touchdown and stuff. It's going to make him relevant, but that's a tough one. Mark Andrews out for the season. Aaron Jones, multiple weeks. That's Quinn, pretty sure. And I think he'll be okay. He's got a good amount of backup there. We're not going to hurt him too bad. Some other ones that aren't like season ending were Achan and Kenneth Walker out at least a week probably, but could be back the week after that. So that was kind of a bummer. I was excited to see what Achan did with his crazy numbers to start the season, and didn't get a chance to even see any of that. So, anywho's. Okay, last week also some trades happened. One between me and Wyatt, and then another blockbuster one between Ryan and Blake. Yep, that's right. Let's see. So mine, I sent out a few different ones. I was trying to sell high on some of those performances with the Green Bay Packers guys and Singletary. And there's some question marks not knowing who's going to be, if Pierce is going to come back into the mix or if it's going to be just Singletary because those crazy games he had. Who knows? Gibbs, I was really excited to get. He also, they both had, him and Montgomery both had awesome games, which isn't going to, I don't think, happen every single week. So kind of have to bank on the touchdown or the work, but I think he's on the up and up. I'm super excited. My 4 running backs, I'm really excited about the group I've got, and then just overall, probably one of my favorite teams I've ever put together. Really excited, even though I lost my quarterback and Anthony Richardson and lost Darren Waller, which I picked them both somewhat middle of the rounds, but anyways, I digress. It's not all about me. But occasionally, it is. Is that Toby Keith Urban, Garth Brooks? Not sure. The other trade between Ryan and Blake was an awesome one. That was a real blockbuster. I think it really matched up well across the board. I think Diggs and Hawkinson edge out Adams and Kincaid by just a little bit. But I think that's why throwing that extra Henry on there is just the perfect, just chef's kiss. Really liked it. Loved to see it. Right before the deadline, to really shake things up. Yeah, Henry, I was going to say, had a couple low weeks last 2 weeks, but, I mean, he could easily get back into Yeti form, especially this time of year. It's cold out here. He's ready to roll. Other news, Quinn has gone back-to-back on the $5 weekly fantasy winner. He's got 3 wins in a row, just cruising, just climbing the ladder. That's pretty dope. Now, I think we should get into the matchups from last week. My predictions, or as I like to call them, Blake's takes. I've always wanted to do that. Let's see how my editing goes. Am I going to throw them in there? Or am I just pointing for no reason? Stay tuned. So last week, first one, Ryan and DC. I got that one right. Let's see. I think they were all pretty close. I'm not going to go too much detail about last week's matchups because I'm lazy and I didn't write very many notes about it. But I know a lot of them are really close. I guess I can just pull them up real quick just in case I need to check, you know. Yeah, I'm just going to briefly skim over it, and then we'll get into this week's matchups. It's more about the now. We don't want to live in the past, right, guys? So I was right about Ryan versus DC. I said Ryan. Dan versus Andy. I said Dan. Quinn versus Christy. I said Quinn. Wayne versus Chris. I said Wayne. Then the ones I got wrong were Parker versus Tim. Parker ended up winning that one. I will make a note, Calvin Ridley really came through for you. That was good to see. I'm wondering how he does this week. It's going to be interesting. And then Wyatt versus Blake. I thought Blake was going to get that win that week, but Wyatt's team pulled it out. And was there one more loss that I was wrong about? Oh, my matchup. Versus Trey. Lost by less than a point. Cooper Kupp going out after one catch, was a real hard one for me to overcome. And then on Monday night, we had my kicker, Butker. I had an 11-point lead. I had Butker versus Swift. Went to my son's basketball practice at halftime. I had a 5-point lead still. Butker had a field goal, and I saw that Chiefs didn't score and Eagles scored a good amount, and I assumed that was also because of Swift, and I was right. That was a stinger, real stinger, but great job, Trey. Really, that was good. That's what I get for talking all that shit. And with that, I will transition into this week's matchup, me versus Parker. You have no chance because my team is so much better, and it's even better now with Gibbs. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Most people are excited about Thanksgiving, Christmas. They lose sleep the night before. I think you lost sleep the night before because you were picturing my team just running down your throat, winning by a huge margin. Gonna be a blowout. Guaranteed. Next, Ryan versus Wyatt. I think Ryan's going to win that one. He's got a lot of veterans. He's also playing 3 tight ends. You heard that correctly. 1, 2, 3 tight ends in his flex and tight end position. That's going to be awesome. Another note, you can still trade players, I think, until they play their games this week. So all 3 of his tight ends are still in trade block. If you need a tight end, you're worried about your guy, you might want to throw some stuff Ryan's way. So yeah, I think Ryan's going to win that one. Let's see. Yeah, Wyatt's got Tyreek Hill and Kittle, which could be, they can put up a crap load of points, but he's also got Scary Terry, and then he's got 3 Green Bay players all in his lineup. So Green Bay is going to have to really put on another good game, or else that guy could be detrimental. Tim versus Quinn. I think Quinn's going to get that one. He's just got, he's got that stack of Stroud and Tank Dell. He's also got Kyron back. Curious to see how that goes. A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, some super most consistent receivers you can have right there. Tim also has Jamar Chase, and Debo. Some of the toughest catchers in the league, hard to tackle, just demand the ball. But I think, who did I say I was going to get that one? Quinn? Yeah, I think Quinn pulls that one out. Dan versus Wayne. I think this one's one of those ones, too, that's super even across the board. It's got But I think Dan's going to pull it out. I think Dan's got it. It's going to be super close. But it's like Eckler versus McCaffrey. You got Flowers and Marquise Brown. You got Mike Evans versus Lockett. Even Pitts versus Gerald Everett. I mean, if Everett's healthy, they both kind of need a touchdown. They both, they're kind of 5-6 pointers at this point right now, but they could also put up some big points. Chris versus Christy. A little bit of a family one here. My cousin Chris versus my sister Christy. They're also cousins. Let's see. I think Chris takes it, but they both have a bunch of wild card kind of players they've disappointed. Miles Sanders, Jahan Dotson on Christie's team is like the biggest boom bust player ever. It's like 20 points or literally 0. It's insane. But yeah, I think Chris is going to have more consistency with what he's rolling with, and I think it's going to be a close one there, but I think he's going to pull it out. All right, that's the last. Wait. Nope. I wrote another note in there to set your lineup, Chris. That's what I was trying to remember, Chris. Yeah. I see Ramondre Stevenson, a couple other guys you might want to. Who knows? It's up to you. Just make sure you check it. It's a weird week this week. DC versus Trey. I think DC pulls it out by a little bit. I'm worried about the Najee Jalen situation again if you play both of them. And then he's got Zay Jones and a couple other guys that are a little sketch. Okay, last but not least, Blake versus Andrew. This one, I think Blake pulls out because I think just overall he's got more consistent players. Kind of the same thing last week. I just think he's due for a win. Got a very well-rounded team. People like Judy and Shakir for Andrew are just a little tough. I'd rather have, his Hopkins and Sutton. I think that's a little more of a consistent flex combo. And then he's got Kincaid now, and just, real strong team. But who knows? With Dobbs, Edwards, Taylor, Lamb, those guys can get a lot of touchdowns. So that's a tough one, but I'm going Blake on that one. Okay, that's it for the matchups. And last but not least, I was going to throw up what I also funnily named Parlay of the Day. That's pretty cool, if I do it. All right, I'm going to put the parlay right here. That's going to be really cool if I figure that out, how to put a screenshot of my parlay right here. But I'm going Seahawks tonight. Just did a lot of alternative picks, alternate picks, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think they can do it. I made a bigger spread just in case shit gets weird. But yeah, tail along if you want. If you head to the casino or if you just hypothetical like me. If you're just hypothetically doing these, taking screenshots and just hypothetically. Happy Turkey Day. Go Hawks!